Hello, and welcome to Roseplay Presents episode 81. As last time I said 70. I do apologize for that. As always, I'm your host, Ori Moonrose, and today we'll be continuing the coverage of E3 as we near the last three conferences. Starting today with Kinda Funny Showcase. So, here on Roseplay Presents, anything can happen from interviews with content creators, game developers, closed betas, E3, movie reviews, game movie reviews, anything that we choose. So, once I figure out where we are, there we go. Alright, so, Kinda Funny Game Showcase. They were announcing 60 games, albeit most of them were indie. And I didn't know what quite to think. And with 60 games in 40 some minutes, almost 50, there really wasn't much room to see much trailers. So a lot of this is just on quick analysis. Some of these that I wrote down, I may not even remember what they were. They really didn't have a conference as much as they were somewhere else. I mean, I guess they were kind of funny, but I felt like this one kind of fell short, besides a few of the games. So, since we're supposed to be focusing on the games, let's go ahead and get started with Kinda Funny Game Showcases 60 games. Starting with Looking for Heal. Alright, so this one looks like an 8-bit era type game. Kind of feels like Dungeons and Dragons with a twist. Looking for Heal is where the fighter can't do it, the archer can't do it, the rogue can't do it. You gotta leave it to the healer. So basically, you're the healer, and you've got to keep the party alive and give them commands while they go and do the things. It's an interesting twist, letting the healer be the main character. It reminded me of Dungeons and Dragons, Dragon Age, and a little bit Final Fantasy 2. It interests me just for the sole fact that you get to be the healer, which is an interesting twist on the norm of the rogue or the hero being the hero, or the knight, I should say, the warrior, whatnot. One Night Stand. Well, this certainly isn't your father's story based games. There are choices and consequences about relationships, mostly about one night stands. Now, it does seem like you can do more than a one night stand, or maybe the game starts off with a one night stand, then you choose to continue the relationship. But this is basically, hey, this is what happens when you do a one night stand with kind of the graphics of Life is Strange, but a little bit more animated. It piqued my interest, but only just because of the fact you do see a lot of dating simulators. And then there's those Flash games that are like, you can make whoopee with so and so. Beyond that, I mean, it just looks good. Like I said, these trailers might have been 30 seconds long with barely anything said. So it's kind of just going off what I saw and if I can remember it. The Inner Friend. So I have down that it includes puzzles, the inner mind workings, and a little bit of a creep factor. I don't remember too much of this one, just because 60 games is a lot, and it started to, get faster, I felt, as they got towards the end. But anyway, it's puzzles that you have to solve. Or it looks like it's delving into the human psyche mind. It just sounds fun, and I love inner minds, and I love puzzles. So definitely another one to look out for. Now, before we go any further, I gotta say, although I may not explain these well or be able to give you much thought as to why they're might be awesome, there's trailers online, probably gameplay. Go ahead and check them out. These are the games that I think you might like. I'm not true with anything from the E3, but this showcase especially. Yes. So, After Party. I don't really have to talk about this too much since I did talk about it in one of the other reviews already. It's the sequel to Oxenfree, It looks awesome. I liked what I saw there. They didn't show as much here. Like it felt like it was like 15 seconds. But After Party's kind of updated, like 32-bit graphics. It looks like, and you're in the underworld and you're trying to escape by out drinking the devil and all his warlords. And apparently, the devil created the challenge, thinking that no one could outdrink his people first. But I think they died from drinking. So kind of a bad move there, Mr. Devil. Although I don't know too much about the plot beyond that, this game looks like it's going to be amazing. It's coming to Game Pass. All right, it was Microsoft that announced that. So I'm definitely going to play it, probably for the show at some point. All right, Trigger Witch. So it's about a witch where apparent magic is common or not that great, but gunfire is God. That's somewhat the tagline. I don't quite remember what the tagline was, but it's a witch that uses guns, and along with that, not only does she use guns, it looks in the style of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Now try using guns into The Link of the Past, besides an arrow or boomerang. Yeah, this could be fun. Next up is Freedom Finger. So it looks like a Galaga type shooter with a ship, but the ship is made from a hand with the middle finger flipping people off. And there's a lot of good voice actors like Nolan North, and honestly, he's the only one I can remember. But it's kind of animated type scene, so there is a story, and then you're a finger. Apparently, you can use anything you want in it. And it's just an interesting twist on a shooter. It looks like a parody, and the fact that it's a middle finger, yeah, definitely watch the trailer for this. Oh, it is something else. All right, Etherborn. Oh, okay. Now I remember what this one is. So I have messes with gravity and perception. A whole world is a puzzle. Time to work my mind to the overtime. So basically, there's puzzles again, which I'm on board. But not only do you have to solve puzzles on a normal plane like we're sitting, but you can walk on the wall and solve puzzles, and you can like twist stuff. And graphically, it doesn't look super great, but again, if you're a fan of puzzles and really testing the, what did I put? The perception of stuff, definitely, again, trailer. The Gardens Between. So another puzzle game involving two kids. It kind of looks like the style of Brothers, but it's this, like, one of the scenes they showed was like it's weird spiral mountain. There's a saw with wood, and at the top's a lantern. But the amazing thing about it is apparently you use time travel to solve the puzzles along with your partner. Now I don't know if the partner's just going to be you by yourself, single player, or if it's going to evolve. You can bring somebody in for the fun, but it's kind of like animated style. So again, puzzles, time travel, especially time travel is my absolute favorite. So another one, Starstruck. So they start off this thing with like graphics like Costume Quest, with two kids doing Guitar Hero type button things. It's from the Lego version though, and it also looks Smash Brothers because I don't think it's the main villain, but the person helping you is this hand. So again, there's this weird hand vibe going on with this E3 press conference, but with a mix of Costume Quest, Smash Brothers, and Guitar Hero, the Lego edition. It also showed some other stuff you could do. The game looks like it could be fun. There's Sneaky Ninja, which you're a ninja, and they did show a bar where you could pick different stuff like shurikens and grappling hook, but it's in the style of Mario. So kind of take Mario and maybe Lucky's Tale a little bit more ninja style. There's not much to say about this one other than those things interested me and the looks. The Sinking City. Oh my goodness. So, okay. they started showing a trailer for it, and then it got interrupted, and they showed some gameplay and did some weird stuff. So it intrigued me so much that after the conference, I had to go ahead and actually look this game up. This game is going to be on par with Call of Cthulhu. It's another Call of Cthulhu thing. Like you're in a city, the sinking city. Yeah, the city's being flooded or something. You find this. Well, that's another thing too. It also reminds me of Murder Soul Suspect, along with Call of Cthulhu because of Cthulhu. Um, so I watched the whole trailer, and it is gameplay. So like he talks to this woman he used to know. He has to sail to her apartment. He has to piece together this puzzle. Oh yeah, Sherlock Holmes too. The Crimes and Punishment. I think that's right. The right game. And you have to piece it together, and it looks spooky. It's got Cthulhu. It feels like another Call of Cthulhu, even though Call of Cthulhu is coming out. I'm pumped for this one. Not only do I like Cthulhu, which we'll see when we do the 8-bit uh, Cthulhu Saves the World eventually, but it feels like Murder Soul Suspect, which was amazing too for what it was. All right, next up is Police Stories. It's a thrilling crime story with unpredictable new runs and tactical gameplay to capture perks. Shooting first is not an option. None of their taglines. Now, the graphics remind me of storyboard type graphics mixed with the original Grand Theft Auto. So, from what they showed of it, besides there being a thrilling crime story, which they didn't delve too much into, they show like a cop open up the door, which surprises the perp. He holds the gun, but another cop comes through the back and arrests them. Apparently, you can arrest them, you can shoot them, even though it's not supposed to be an option. And we haven't seen too many thrilling crime stories. I mean, L.A. Noir and Mafia, but it's not as much a genre that's explored, and police especially. So it sounds like it could be fun. Even though it did show you shoot the perp a lot and get shot. But what really interests me is how the dynamics of the story or how the missions go can change. I'm always up for new ways to play a game. Replay value is good for a lot of people, although I don't get a lot of time to do replay. It does seem like it could be really, really fun. And then I lost that. So, Brave Earth Prologue. Apparently, this is from the creators of I Want to Be the Guy, or I Want to Be the Guy, which is an amazing game. Gerard, the completionist, played it on his show for his Let's Play channel. But it looks like a blend of both Ninja Gaiden, because the beginning cutscenes that they showed, which were 8-bit graphics, was like Ninja Gaiden type opening and music, mixed with Castlevania. I mean, not only is I Want to Be the Guy amazing and harder than crap, but this game is supposed to be a parody love note. But I'm going to play it. I want it. No doubt about it. I mean, there's not much more I can say. Again, they didn't show much. And I'm all up for showing 60 games. I'm all up for the conference not being super long. But we really, I mean, it's hard to explain the games when they're like 20-second trailers or 30-second, but they don't really reveal much, and it just interests me in the eye. So again, look up the trailer. Now, so I'm probably going to switch back to a variation of watching it next year and switch back and forth, just so it's not always the same grind. Then there's Tamarian or Tamarin. So there's this cute little protagonist that looks like, I don't know, I want to say an Ewok or a sloth or something. But it had the gameplay style that it quickly did of like Crash Bandicoot and Super Lucky's Tale, or that not Gex game, Croc game. Again, didn't show much, so I can't really say too much, but again, I like the Mario Crash type games. So Undying, an interesting blend of the walking. Oh, okay, I remember now. Okay, so Undying looks to roughly be either an 8-bit game or a 16-bit game. It's involving zombies, which, yes, zombies are starting to get a little overpopulated, especially in the gaming. I don't mind, though. I don't mind that the gaming is oversaturated a little bit if the story's good. So it's about a mother, I know that, and she gets bit and she's trying to get to her son in time to be able to, how do I want to say, I guess to train him for the zombie apocalypse before she turns. I don't know if there's choices. The graphics are kind of lower, which is fine because it works for this. But again, it looks like it could be a overall fun game. And the final game that interested me was Foregone. It was another game that looks like a blend of Castlevania and Ninja Gaiden. They showed much more gameplay, and it felt more like Ninja Gaiden. But give me one moment. But it's another game that I wouldn't mind playing. So that's the whole game list for the E3 kind of funny games. Again, I'm sorry I couldn't talk about the games too much. Feels like I'm repeating myself. It happens, especially when, again, the videos are really short. But please look at these games. As for the press conference, hey, they tried. But I don't know. The press conference felt like it was lagging on. The times they did talk, I felt like they were trying too hard. But hey, who am I to say people trying too hard? I mean, I'm the cringiest thing on on YouTube. I don't know if I am, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't like my style and whatnot. So I'm gonna give them a 3.5, just because I just mentioned myself being crap. Press conference overall was a 3.5 for me. Now, the best game I saw, and no, I'm not gonna use uh, After Party because it was already for the Microsoft one. It's got to be a tie between the Sinking City, which doesn't seem that much like a indie game, or Brave Earth Prologue. And since the Sinking City looks more like, even though the Sinking City looks more like an actual A-list, B-list game, I'm not going to vote it because A, it's supposed to be for indie titles. So it is a close second, or a close first. So I will give it to Brave Earth Prologue. The game absolutely blew out of the water. As for the worst game I saw, honestly, this is a hard choice because although they didn't show much for the scenes, these are the games that interest me. It's not like, oh, the worst game is something I didn't even talk about. And remember, this is in my opinion because what I might like, you might like. I guess since we didn't get enough of a trailer for it, I'll give it to Tamarin. And I really think this game could be fun. But they didn't show much, and it feels like it's the least. All I remember of it, even, is the little critter jumping up and catching something and just looking at the screen. I'm like, cool. Alright, so that'll leave it here for this episode. When we come back, we will be on our second to last E3 show, being the Square Enix E3 conference or showcase. I'm not sure what they're going under. But this is the one I've been waiting for. I mean, obviously they're going to show gameplay for Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I'm still not sure how I feel about this. I'm not sure if I like the idea of the remake or not. From what little I have seen before the press conference starts here, uh, I'm just iffy. Maybe the press conference will change my mind. So come back next time when we do the Square Enix press conference. And remember, keep gaming, never give up. And Nintendo, we're coming for you. You're the last press conference. Then back to stuff. Normal stuff.